for an art class I'm doing this month, and I'm really excited about it. I'm taking an oil painting class at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and it's one of their continuing studies for adults classes. And I did one of these last summer. I did an introduction to drawing class. I already knew how to draw, but I'd never had any formal training, so I decided that it would be a good place to start. And then I saw that they had an oil painting class on their list of classes available too, and I was like, if I can next summer, I think I'm going to do that. And now it's next summer. It's June 1st, and I'm here to take my class. I came a little bit early. I have like 25 minutes, so I'm going to go get a coffee from Fairgrounds, which is in the Chicago Athletic Association building. Last summer I had some time before classes, and I did some bopping around the city, trying different cafes and donut shops and stuff. And I remember they had a really, really good latte. I never went to college, so these classes are like the nearest thing I've ever had to a college education. And of course, they're like no credit, no homework, so they're super low key, but it's still fun to have some kind of like school experience, because I was also homeschooled, fun fact. I had to stop by an umbrella because it's raining, and I didn't bring one. I didn't bring a coat either. Poor foresight on my part. I'm walking to Blick because we need to buy art supplies. This is actually kind of tough for me because I love to agonize over my choices, and here we're like picking out like a couple $100 worth of products and brushes and paints in like a half hour, and pressure's on. Thankfully, our class instructor came along and was like explaining, like, it doesn't really matter what brand of brush you get, you should get this size tube of paint, but it's just like a lot to do all in one fell swoop. I went back to Blick Art because I wanted to get the paints that we'll need to complete the assignment we have for like next week. Like, there are art stores near me, but they don't always have the same things as Blick. I order a lot from Blick online, and the prices are usually better. When I do buy in my area, I try to buy from our local art store instead of like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, just because it's a small business. But since it's here, since I'm in the city, since it's convenient, I decided to just go there and get them ahead of time. I'm gonna bring home my painting and work on it. I might have to get an easel in order to do that, but I should get one anyway. And now I'm walking to dinner. I'm gonna go to an Italian restaurant that I wanted to try. I liked olio e più. The cacio e pepe was really good. I've had cacio e pepe a few times, and it's never really lived up to what I expected it would be. It's always like kind of watery and like bland. And this was like super rich and creamy. I couldn't finish it. It was really good. Music back here is kind of loud. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm having a very New York themed day in Chicago with Olio EPU and then Magnolia. The class today was really just like a foundations class. We spent a while introducing ourselves, and then we discussed supplies and some basic rules of oil painting and what to do, and going over some things that aren't really obvious, which is exactly why I wanted to take a class. If I was trying to research online, I would be like, well, I'll just I've got the supplies, I'll just go from here. Having to sit in a group setting and wait for the teacher to explain them is really, really helpful to me. Most people, my attention span is shot these days. I don't have the patience to look at a screen. So much more engaging in person, totally different experience. So I'm just super excited to be taking this class. But I want to eat my banana pudding now. But I did some base layer coloring in. I feel the need to put a disclaimer at this point that I did not pick this piece of art. It's a section of an extant piece of art. I'm not familiar with it. I didn't really get a good look at it before it was divided into pieces. It's a group project we're working on where we each paint a section and then we create a collage out of everyone's individual renditions of their section. So I've got a 4x4 inch square piece that I am working off of. And I don't usually paint art that has nudity in it. Actually, I never paint art that has nudity in it. And I don't intend to. I just don't want anyone to be offended or shocked. I'm doing an assignment. I've just been approaching it from a technical composition color standpoint as a practice, and I won't be creating more of this type of art in the future. So. Had the sickening realization that I forgot to bring my lanyard with my student ID, which was the dumbest thing to forget. I can't believe I forgot that. What in the world? I was so prepared. My sweet sister drove all the way across town to save me time driving back, and she literally saved me an hour of driving because otherwise I would have had to go all the way back home. I think I'm still gonna be an hour late, but that was really helpful. I'm glad I remembered. I was thinking about going to the Art Institute after my class because it's free for Artie card holders, and then I was like, I don't have it with me. Because I did not bring a fork with me for this. And I wanted another iced latte. I think I forgot to put dressing on my noodles. I know I put sriracha on them, but they don't taste like soy sauce or anything, which is kind of disappointing. I'm having such bad luck with weather. It's raining again. It's been beautiful and sunny all week, and then come Saturday, it's not raining as hard as it was last week, but it's windy, so it's kind of just blowing everywhere. It's also cold. I wasn't expecting it to be cold. I need to check the weather before I come. Just doing a number on my hair. I'm walking across the river again. It's time to get a donut. I was planning to do this before. Oh well, it's just gonna be what it is. I was planning to do this before I went to my class this morning, but because of the delay, I had to skip it. I might get a coffee. I'm very tempted to. I'm gonna go back and continue painting because our assignments are due like first thing next week. And I'm gonna be in a wedding next Friday that will have me in Indianapolis. And it's like a 3-hour drive from Indianapolis. And so I won't have time to like get up here before the class begins. I'm not going to attempt to anyway. I don't feel like getting up at 5 a.m. after being in a wedding the day before. So I'm gonna go back and finish it. The building is open to students till like 10 p.m. And I don't think I'll stay that late, but I do want to get my painting done. But first, donuts. Getting at least one of the strawberry mascarpone.
Okay, one strawberry mascarpone.
Let's do 2 of those.
2 strawberry mascarpone.
Yes. A walk and some food and some time away from the canvas have definitely helped. This looks better than I did when I left it, and I didn't even have to do anything to it. We have our assignment for next week, which is to choose some art, edit it to bring out the basic colors, and then use it as our subject for our next painting. So I can do that on my own this week, but this I need to leave here because the first thing they're gonna do next week is put it all together. So I think I'm gonna focus on the background and maybe work a little bit more on this arm. And then I'm going to add the dark lines to outline everything and some texture, and I'm gonna call it good. Somehow I already have a bunch of paint on my hands. Good. Here's the original. Here's mine. And yes, it is like stretched out, expanded. The aspect is. The original was apparently pastels. So I think you can kind of tell just from the texture of that. And we were recreating in oils, so it was a little tricky at times, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not exactly my favorite style, so it was tough, like trying to get all the texture and everything, but it was also a good learning experience. Like, I learned things from it that I wouldn't have learned if I had just been trying to teach myself, and I guess that's the point of school. I just went to Sawada Coffee, I think you say Sawada, and got a military latte. This is a matcha mocha, essentially, with vanilla. So it's like an everything latte. I've been hearing about it forever, and I thought it sounded so interesting. So I went a little bit out of my way this morning to get this. I'm gonna mix it in because there's cocoa on top. Maybe it's already mixed in. Okay, I don't want to spill this. It's really full. Too late. Haha, I already spilled it. Okay, maybe we'll just sip it out of the top. It's good. It's what I'd expect. Just like a really earthy mocha. Less sweet. It's very nice. It's a good thing I'm wearing black today.
And in the same year, move back home. Guess the 20s ain't as friendly as the place where you were born. And anytime you reach for something, they claim that you need nothing to satisfy your soul, but all the good stuff's bought and sold.
I'm currently here by myself because everyone else just left. This day felt very short because I got here at like 11-ish. I'm doing a cake. I love cake, and I've painted watercolor cakes before. This one has really beautiful contrast. It's not really something I could do with watercolors. Has this nice deep background, and I thought the gradient was like really cool. So here's what I've got so far. This has been really tedious. It's definitely in an ugly duckling phase right now. Like close up, it doesn't look horrible, but from far away, it's not much. This is all painted white, and then I've been focusing on these like lemon yellow and lavender shadows and highlights, and it's been very, very slow going, but I think like even when I just added these sections here and up here, it really brought a lot more of the vision to light. We'll see. This is always like the toughest phase of a painting where you're like, I really doubt myself as an artist, and this is probably not going to be cute, but honestly it's probably not going to look great until I get the black, and that's the very last thing I'm going to do. So patience is key. We have one more project we're doing next week, and then I think this will probably just be my like final project that I work on and complete. I'm gonna take it home and work on it a bit, see how much progress I make. Just about gave up on going to get it because the street parking situation was so crazy. I mean, it is Saturday night, but I finally found a spot. But I was like that close to giving up. The Tribune Tower is one of my favorite buildings in Chicago. I did a painting where it was like heavily featured. It took forever to paint the windows, but it's one of my favorite pieces of work I've ever done. That would be a cool subject for an oil painting, actually. I should do that sometime. See you next week.
And turn right onto Lower Michigan Avenue.
I got the Valencia Shakerado, which is like an orange creamsicle latte. It's so good. They had the recipe sitting out in plain sight, and I wrote it down for sure. So good. I didn't know there was a Verve in Chicago until I was looking on Google Maps through the area last night. And then I realized there's a Verve. It's just inside of this Capital One cafe. So I'm really excited because I've had Verve beans before, but I've never been to one of their coffee shops because they're located in Southern California. And I've never been, although I really, really want to go. just went and got dinner at Ralph Lauren with an online friend, now in real life friend, that I've like known for years and never met. And it was like so fun finally meeting her in person. We had a great dinner. I've never eaten at Ralph Lauren before, and it was such a fun experience. My assignment today, I didn't really like vlog much of it because I was really focused on working, but we were just drawing a bowl of eggs, and the goal was to study the different whites or different shades of color that are in the white. So it ended up kind of looking like Easter eggs. But like I got the vision, and it made like a lot of sense when it's all said and done. I want to do a different project for my final next week, but I have I have 2 paintings now to finish, so we'll see how that goes. I think I'm gonna go get a gelato, and then there's a concert in Millennium Park tonight, so maybe I'll like stop by and see if I can catch some of it before my parking expires. The gelato shop was so chaotic, oh my goodness. It took me forever to get my sorbet. I got raspberry and mango. Now I'm walking to the concert. I think it's already started. It's probably like 8:15 now. And I can like stay for like 30 minutes because my parking expires, but this will be a fun way to end a very enjoyable day. Very pleased to see ye old car is still here. I stored my turpentine inside my trunk, and I was low-key scared it was going to explode because that's just another day in the life of a nervous girly. But it didn't, so that's good news. It's Thursday night before my final art class, and I've made some progress on both of these. I added the red to the background of this one, and I've been working on adding the rest of the color to this one, and I think I may have blended out parts of this a little more than my teacher would have liked, and I need to make sure and go back and make sure there's no canvas showing through, because that's going to be a problem. But otherwise I really just need to add black to both of these. This is acrylic, and I need to put a layer of oil, and I also need to add the spokes of the whisk, or the tines. I don't know what it's called. Comment if you know what it's called. I don't know. Anyway, here are my paintings. Completed, almost. Almost. I'll show you when they're actually complete. Whew, there we go. Is that better? I think so. I'm setting up for a NASCAR event. It's happening downtown here soon, which is really interesting. Reminds me of the F1 course in Monaco. I'm going to get a coffee. I have leftovers for my lunch. Oh, like actually this is so cool. I don't even like NASCAR. Like my dad used to watch it, and it'd just be like, this is so boring. It's just a bunch of cars going around and around on a track. But seeing this makes me appreciate it more. I'm going to get a coffee for a pick-me-up. But this morning we just have been discussing everyone's projects and how they turned out, and having a very light critique. It's like nothing compared to what you probably have in actual art school, but it is interesting to hear all of the little things that people have changed. It's very educational. I've even learned some things from it myself. I went to Goddess and the Baker. I saw last week they have a birthday cake latte, and I was like, that sounds amazing. But they were having birthday cake syrup, so I just got a regular old ice latte with sprinkles and whipped cream. I think that's pretty good. want to finish off this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching and maybe you learned something about oil painting, or maybe you learned about the continuing studies for adults classes from SAIC. I really enjoyed taking this class. I would highly recommend it. It's a bit of an investment, but it's meant to teach you principles of painting and not just how to paint in someone else's style, and how to use real techniques and not gimmicks. And I knew that, and that's why I decided to take it. When you break it down hour by hour, it comes out to about $25 an hour, and that's really, really cheap for high quality art education. I may or may not take more classes in the future, so if I do, I may or may not take you along with me. I'm super excited to see what I can make with oil paints now. I took a lot of pictures of the waterfront. I'm hoping to create some cityscapes and some landscapes, some waterscapes, lakescapes because it's not the sea, and still life. There's just so many things that I feel like I can make. Thank you so much for devoting a long time into watching this vlog. If you made it all the way to the end, comment and tell me what you think, and see you next time.